Hello, I'm Kaiser and welcome to Moose Reads. Before I get started, I want to say that the opinions that I give here are my own opinions. They are extremely subjective. If I dislike a book, it is not a reflection on the author, and it is not a reflection on people who do like it. Different people have different tastes, and that's okay. Today, I will be reviewing Prince of Agony by Tavia Lark. This is the sixth and final book in the Perilous Courts series. It is a queer fantasy romance. The description says, Prince Kazuya Dyer isn't nice. Being nice lets people close. Letting people close risks revealing Kazuya's greatest secret, the power that condemns him to a lifetime of abuse. Until opportunity appears in the form of a captive enemy mage. Following a dragon across the border lands Lucien Vere in chains, and matters only get worse from there. Lucien has hated House Dyer since the last war. Now he's under the notorious Brat Prince's direct control. Yet beneath Kazuya's vicious mask, Lucien senses desperate vulnerability. Painful experience has taught Kazuya to fear mages. He needs to keep Lucien at a distance, even as he uses Lucien's talents. But that distance narrows with each careful kindness, each accidental touch. Lucien acts more like a protector than a prisoner, and Kazuya is tempted by the dangerous sweetness of trust. But Lucien is still a mage, and Kazuya is still broken, and Kazuya's cruel parents may still destroy them both. 4 stars. Honestly, this one could have made it to 5 if not for one major fuck-up at the end. I really enjoyed it. The first 3 books in this series deal with the princes of Selays, and the last 3 follow the princes of Driscora. Selays is generally a very nice place with nice rulers. Driscora is not that. We start hearing bits and pieces about Kazuya, starting with Prince and Bodyguard, and I was immediately invested in him. I could not wait to get to this book, and I wasn't disappointed. This one didn't strike me as terribly predictable. There was maybe one thing I guessed before it was revealed, and given how hard they hinted at it in the previous book, I don't think it was meant to be a secret. This one also more or less lacked the insta-love that these books have been plagued by. Kazuya takes charge of Lucien because he's so desperate for change he's invested in sowing chaos, and it's an opportunity. Lucien is a prisoner, so he spends a fair chunk of the book hating Kazuya. They don't even mention that the other is attractive all that much before they've had time to forge an emotional connection. This one is also significantly less lighthearted than the rest of the series, by which I mean serious content warnings for child abuse and sort of mild content warnings for torture, although it's not extreme. Okay, that's it for no spoilers. If you don't like spoilers, now is the time to pause or close the video. For everyone else, let's talk details. So, Kazuya is a Grail, which means he has a pool of magic within him that he can't use, but which other mages can. Unfortunately for Kazuya, his mother made some poor choices during pregnancy that made him a fucked up Grail. While a Grail's magic can usually be used painlessly, Kazuya's magic is channeled through pain. So his father has been whipping him throughout his life to augment his own power and wage war against Selays, while his mother, a blood mage, heals the wounds after. So obviously the climax of the book involves murdering his parents. That's fine, they more than deserve it. But they make a plan and it all goes to hell pretty quickly. In a moment of desperation, Kazuya tells Lucien to break his arm in order to use his magic to defeat his parents. And Lucien does it. He hesitates, but ultimately he reasons that he can't save Kazuya without killing his parents, and he can't kill his parents without using Kazuya, so he breaks his wrist. I did not like this. It was not okay. Everything else about this book was building to 5 stars, but Lucien hurting Kazuya after everything he's had to endure was a line that should not have been crossed, and I was pissed. Perhaps more irritating is that we don't really get any proper follow-up afterward. There's not any kind of conversation afterward in which Lucien apologizes profusely, or they discuss how that might affect the way they feel about each other. Or at least, if there was a conversation, it was extremely brief and brushed over as if it didn't matter. Other than that, though, I loved this book. I'm a sucker for wounded characters getting taken care of, and this delivered. Honestly, I would probably read a dozen more of these books if Lark wrote them. I like the characters and the world a lot. That's all I have to say about Prince of Agony. If you like this video, I hope you'll watch more in the future. Thanks for watching this one. Bye!